Good morning, my Teaserking family. I hope everybody's well today. Um, Big win last night. New Orleans +9 as I gave it out yesterday. And unlike college, we get the field goal at the end as they're down 11. And so they need a field goal touchdown. They get the field goal. It goes through 42-34. We survived two pick sixes from Andy Dalton that one was not his fault. The receiver went through his hands. The other one, he just didn't see the guy and threw it. So, again, that's part of what happens when you're betting, why we're looking at quarterbacks, because you're looking at touchdowns, interceptions, and you don't want a guy who throws a lot of interceptions. But there's nothing you can do when you hit the receiver in the hand and he can't catch it. And then and then they get it and they return it all the way for a touchdown. And then he did it twice. So, the other one, he threw right to the guy, but he didn't see him. Anyway, we get the end. It's 42-31. I didn't know the score. I was watching the highlights. I knew it was 42-24. And then it went 42-31, and then boom, I kicked a field goal with like 30 seconds left, and there you go. So worked out beautifully. That's the NFL for you. Teasing the dog wins. I had the over, but I didn't play it. I played against Arizona as the home favorite. Is now 14-2. So let's go through the line that we have. The latest October 21st at approximately 11 o'clock. So let's go through the line. We'll go to Vegas Insider. I don't like it for college. Well, what I don't like about it is it doesn't give you the over-under and the thing. You have to go. So let's go to scores and odds. I don't understand Vegas Insider unless there's a way to see both. I don't want to see just the line and then have to go through, especially college. You got 60 college games, and to go through the line and then go back through it again to see the over/under it's just ridiculous. So let's go. And I'm in college, so we got to get to pros. I hit both college games yesterday also, which we can talk about in a little bit. Dallas, 7 and 48.5. I don't like Prescott starting over Rush. Jacksonville, 3 and 42.5. Tennessee, 2.5 and 42. That's down from 43.5. First two games didn't change. Cincy, 6.5 and 47, up from 6. 47 didn't change. Baltimore, 6.5, 45.5, 46. Okay. Tampa Bay is now 13 and 39.5 from 40.5. So it's a really weird line. Do we know who the quarterback is for Carolina? Because I know they're all injured. My guess is Sam Darnold will play, but I don't know. Green Bay is 5 and 41, down from 42. Denver's down to a half, 38 from 2.5 and 39.5. So they're thinking, as I'm thinking, under. Vegas, 745, or I should say Oakland, 745, hasn't moved. KC, 248.5, 48.5, down from 3. San Diego, 5 and 50, down from 7. And Miami, 745.5. Total went from 44 to 45.5. The 7 stayed. New England, 8.5, up from 7.5. 39.5. So my big problem is Like, who's the? Let's see if we can get who the quarterback is in the Carolina game. So we believe Prescott's starting for Dallas. Well, let's go. Let's just walk. Well, let me see if I can get the Carolina. If it tells me the starters in the matchups. Carolina. Mayfield was limited in practice on Thursday heading into week 7. I thought he was out for a month. Darnold, the Panthers have opened the 21-day practice window for Darnold. They await his return from injured reserve. Matt Corral's been placed on the IR. So I guess P.J. Walker is not listed, although he was injured. Tampa Bay, we go through this. Julio Jones, he's questionable with the knee. I'm shocked. The other receivers are not on here. Okay, so we got the receivers for Tampa, Carolina. I guess it's going to be P.J. Walker again. So let's talk. I start with Green Bay, Washington. I got Green Bay -5 and 41. Wentz is out. Green Bay looks like shit. They can't beat the Giants or the Jets. Or the Giants and the Jets are really strong teams and better than Tampa and Green Bay. So this is what you have. I got Green Bay as an under team. They don't score. Their defense is okay, and I'm even doubting that. He basically gave up 27 of the Giants. Now, they didn't really give up 27 of the Jets. They scored on 2 block punts. Scoring on 2 block punts is not the defense's fault, right? It's how the hell does that happen in the pros? And when I looked at the replay, it looked like he wasn't back the full 15 yards. It looked like he was awfully close to the line. So there might have been a yards issue there. Initially, I liked the dog. Wentz is out. I like Heineke better anyway. I don't understand. Like, Wentz sucks. Philadelphia gets rid of him because he sucks. Indy picks him up, starts him, and then they cut him because he sucks. And now here comes Washington picking him up, and he sucks. And then they start him, and it's like, this guy's bad. Why do you keep signing him and starting him? Okay, maybe he's a good backup, for Tom Brady or something, but he's not a starter. And yet they keep starting him. They keep going, well, okay, we'll start him. And you keep going, what the hell are you doing? Why do you keep starting him? So it really makes no sense with why teams keep drafting them, but you keep betting against them. That's all you do. So the trend here, it's a double trend. Green Bay is a terrible road favorite. Washington's just as bad as a home dog in a bet against team. I really don't know what to do here. I think I like the under because you don't really have a quarterback. Green Bay doesn't know what they're doing. Their defense is weak. Washington's weak. Washington's a W. They have a weak defense, and they have a terrible offense. That's what a W is. Green Bay's under. So I just think it's a low score. I mean, so you go under 47, where are they going to get 47 from? So I just think that it'll be a low-scoring game. In my opinion, I just think it's probably the only way to play. I don't know. Can I trust Green Bay to beat Washington? Okay, Green Bay lost at London to the Giants. Let's give them jet lag and 2 block punts. They lose to the Jets, who actually look very good. And now here comes Washington, another team they should easily beat. But so you can look at it one of 2 ways. Either, Green Bay sucks, I'm not betting them. Why are they the road favorite? Or Green Bay's lost 2 in a row, and they're going to play a really good game against a really weak team. The problem is you don't know what you're getting because Green Bay is so bad. Their offensive line looks like shit. Their defense doesn't really look good. They let the Giants run down the field without a quarterback. So I don't know. I don't see Washington winning this game, and I have no feel to take Washington in 11. So sometimes you look at the game and you go, let's look at all angles. We can have Green Bay in 1. Well, I don't trust Green Bay. Okay, do you want Washington in 11 then? No, I don't want them. They're too weak. So how can you not like one team versus the other? So you either like Green Bay -1 or you like Washington in 11. Hey, Bobby. Not much, just starting football. Got a nice win last night with New Orleans in 9 as they kicked the field goal with 20 seconds left. Although they should have won the game. They threw 2 pick sixes. It's like, what the hell? I started a little earlier. I want to go to lunch, and I keep ending at 3, and it's a little bit late. So I wanted to start a little earlier, end a little earlier, and I'm going to my boneyard and with my ounce of silver and talk to the owner, see what he's up to. He keeps going, when's it going up? And I watch my show. If you watch that guy, they do a new show on Friday, number 96. It's as good as Live from the Vault. And he's like the economist for these gold guys. He's really a banker, but he's just saying how disruptive the physical market is from the real market, the paper market. I'm sorry, how the paper market is so distraught from the physical real market. And that's what we keep talking about is the physical market, not the paper market, which is just a scam from JP Morgan. All right, so Green Bay, Washington again. Then, so I either like Green Bay +1 or Washington +11. If I don't like either, how can I not like either? I mean, the game's going to be played. Somebody's going to win. We assume Green Bay will win, but they're so bad. How do we play them? Or is this the spot to play them? And this is what pro football's gotten to is you have no fucking idea which Green Bay team shows up. We know Washington's terrible, but we don't know. So right now we see this. It's a double trend. It's bet against Green Bay, bet against Washington as a home dog. So the only play I see is go under. Washington has no offense. Green Bay's got a fairly good defense, and they're not scoring. So the only real play is 41 to go under 47, I think. I don't see where Washington's going to score, so I can't really go over 35. So in a terrible game, the only play here is under 47, in my opinion. Maybe you take Green Bay saying, okay, they lost 2 in a row. They're desperate. They got to win. But I don't even see that. They were desperate last week and got 2 punt blocks. So I don't see Green Bay getting crushed. Now, again, it goes backs against the wall. Is their back against the wall? Well, Minnesota's 5-1. They're 3-3. So I would say it's about as far back against the wall as you could get. So I do think Green Bay, all they have to do, they don't even have to win. I mean, they're getting 1 point. I'll be shocked if they lose this game because, they have to win it. And you still got Aaron Rodgers against Washington, but Heineke's not bad. So, again, this is a game. I don't know how to bet on it. I don't see it. Atlanta, Cincinnati 6.5. Atlanta's an over team. Even without Cordell Patterson, they're scoring. Cincinnati is a B team, so they score a lot of, they're in the mid to upper 20s with a strong defense that's getting better and better and better. So what do we got here? Cincy 6.5, over under 47. The trend says there's not a lot, little Cincy trend. But Atlanta's trends are changing. They are bet against, but then this year they're 6-0 in the teaser. They just beat the Niners. Let's give them a little bit of credit. Now, 7 came on a fumble by the Niners. It was 7-0. They run into the line. The guy fumbles. Now it's 14-0 as Atlanta takes it back. They look like they can move the ball. Beating the Niners defense is as good as, if not better than Cincinnati's. So this is a game where I really like the game over 47 down to 41. Why? Cincinnati with Chase and Burrow, they're going to score. Atlanta really doesn't have that defense that's going to stop them. But Atlanta somehow, and I don't know how, is moving. You got Mariota, who absolutely stinks, but he looks better. He's throwing the ball much better, and then his running, which he always did. They seem to have some good running backs and receivers that I've never heard of. That and I've heard of guys from North Texas State and Louisiana Lafayette, Levi Lewis, the quarterback. So I've heard of everybody because I studied the college, and I don't know who the hell they got, but they are scoring. They will score on Cincinnati. 41 is simply 21-20. This is definitely a game with a both being the 20s. Shocked by the Niners 28-14 last week that they could only score 14 points on this team. Cincy with Burrow and Chase are a lot better than Garoppolo. See, Garoppolo hurts, he caps the Niners. They'll never win with Garoppolo. He's not that good. So in this situation, I think this is an over game. Do I want Atlanta in 12.5? Well, according to the number, they're 6-0 this year. Yeah, they probably will. I don't really want to fuck with Burrow and Chase. So I'm sitting there going, well, I think since he wins, I think Atlanta's a live dog. So this is like a both. This is probably a game, play a teaser, you win. You can probably go over, you can probably go under, you can probably take Atlanta or Cincy. It just has two solid teams that are playing well. Cincy doesn't blow you out normally. Atlanta they just beat the Niners, so give them credit for that. And then, so I think the best way to play it, I think you can take Atlanta in 12.5, but I don't want to mess with Burrow, so I think the best way to play it is go over 41. I definitely see points. Atlanta will score for you. They're totally an over team, kind of a weak defense and a good offense, at least so far. But now you've added the Niners to the crux, 28-14 of 42. Why the Niners didn't score more is just a mystery to me. That's ridiculous. So anyway, that's what we got here. So go over in the Atlanta-Cincy game. Cleveland-Baltimore. Baltimore minus 6.5. Over under 46. Both teams are over teams. Hint, hint. Which means they both score well and they both have a weak defense. So we score 20. In the NFL, in college, it's 30-30, right? You got to score 30 and give up 30 and you're an over team. In the pros, it's like 24-25. Everybody's stacked that they score between normally 20 and 26. You got a few 30s, Buffalo, Kansas City, I think. And then you got some really weak teams like the Bears who score, 14. But generally the pack, they're between, let's say, 19 and 25. The whole freaking league. This is the problem with the league. All the teams are the same. Most of the teams run the same offenses. The little running quarterback, the little swing passes. And it's like if you didn't know who was playing, you could just plug in team A and plug in team B, and it's the same shit. So that's what you have. So we've got do I trust Baltimore to beat Cleveland? No. Do I trust Cleveland to beat Baltimore? No. I can't trust Lamar Jackson, who just keeps throwing interceptions at the end of the game. How do they lose to the Giants? How do they lose to Buffalo? This is the problem, right? He throws these interceptions. He doesn't score anymore. The running works certain times, but when you need him to pass, Tampa Bay does this very well. Okay, we got a 4-point lead with 4 minutes left, and they run the clock out, right? Brady hits a little here. They run for 7-8 yards. Boom, a first down. Boom, there's 2 minutes left. Boom, a first down. The game's over. They do that extremely well. Baltimore does it extremely poorly, right? They should never have lost to the Giants. What are they even calling the play? I saw a play yesterday, 4th down, Kyler Murray at the 10-yard line, just fakes it in the middle and just runs outside and just finds a little hole, sticks the ball out, gets the first down by half a yard. And that's what you do with Lamar Jackson. Let him use his speed, and all he has to do is cut up at one point And that's how you would run a fourth down with him. You don't run it up the middle, and you certainly don't pass with the guy. So in this instance, I can't trust Baltimore to win. I can't trust Cleveland. Well, Cleveland in 12.5, I think I like that. Brissett looks good. I like Cleveland. Chubb, absolutely. I think that's a play. I think over is the play in the game. Over 40. Now, one thing Lamar does get you is points, either throwing a pick six or scoring himself. Cleveland will score with Chubb. The trends on Baltimore, where Baltimore, I think it's against Cleveland. Baltimore is an okay home favorite. They used to be a great home favorite. Now they're not. Cleveland's not a great road dog, so the trend really doesn't work here. We'll get to a few games with the trend. But so basically just two over teams and an over-under of 46. I can tease it to 40. This is clearly go over 40. Detroit and Dallas, I don't know what to do with this game. Dallas is 7, 48.5. Detroit is an over team. It's funny. They get shut out by New England. They're averaging 35 points a game, goes down to 28 now. So their average went down 7 points in a shutout. That's the thing with these numbers. It's so early in the year that if you skew from your thing, so if you're a 30-point team and you get shut out, and all of a sudden you're a 20-point team, and that's it. Now, my problem here is, let's see. Wait a minute. So Dallas is an under team. Cooper Rush is perfect. He doesn't turn the ball over, although he had 3 turnovers against Philly for some reason. Over under 48.5. So Dallas, strong defense, conservative offense. They'll score. And Dallas should drive on Detroit all day. The worst defense in the league. And Micah Parsons should blitz the hell out of Jared Goff, who can't handle blitz. My only problem is Dak Prescott. I want Cooper Rush. If Cooper Rush is playing, this is a lock. I'd take Dallas down to 1. Dak Prescott is terrible, and he throws too many interceptions, and that's my concern. Will they win with Dak Prescott? Cooper Rush, I knew what I was getting. I knew he wasn't going to turn the ball over and let the defense win the game for me. Let Micah Parsons, the best player in the field, win the game for me. Now you've got Dak Prescott, who throws the ball way too much, throws the ball to the wrong team, can't handle a blitz. Not that the Lions can do anything. So the trend's all Dallas here. Detroit, terrible road dog, as we know. Haven't won on the road with this idiot coach. But Dak Prescott. So do I trust Dak Prescott to win the game? I don't. But I certainly wouldn't take Detroit in 13. Although Detroit always scores late to cover. They're down 30, and they'll score 3 touchdowns and lose by 9. And everybody goes, wow, that's a pretty close game. No, they're down 30. So that's my problem in this game. If I had Cooper Rush, this would have been locked, -1, no question. So I don't know what to do with this. This is probably take Dallas -1 with that defense. I think at the end of the day, am I going to get what New England did, 26-0? Well, certainly the coaching's McCarthy's not a good coach. So I don't really trust that. I like Kellen Moore. I think he's a great offensive coordinator. Defensive coordinator, I think this is the guy from Atlanta he was at Seattle as their defensive coordinator, trying to get credit for the Legion of Boom. Well, he ain't he's not Richard Sherman, and he's not all their studs. So, why does the coordinator get credit for having all these great players? Then now he goes coaches Atlanta, and they had a terrible defense there, and now he's the defensive coordinator of Dallas. So if he blitzes Micah Parsons a lot, then that'll hurt the Detroit offense. Detroit off a bye doesn't really matter. They stink. If they're off a bye, if they're not off a bye. I can't imagine Dallas losing this game, and we only got to lay 1. I think you got to take Dallas. But it's not a lock. It would have been a lock with Cooper Rush. So if Cooper Rush is the quarterback, we're locking it. But right now, I don't trust Prescott. He doesn't really know how to read a defense, and it's unbelievable. So he's not as good as they make him out to be. For the team, Cooper Rush is better. He won't turn it over and he'll let the defense win the game. And that's really what you want to do when you got Micah Parsons, is let the defense shut them out, no stupid turnovers, make them drive the length of the field on you. You get your little points, and that's it. So with Prescott, I don't know. This would have been an under with Rush, as I've been betting Dallas under and winning every week. So this really turns it around. So I think the only play here is Dallas -1, and hope Prescott doesn't throw too many interceptions. Tampa Bay. Ooh, what's going on here? They go from, my line was 7. They open at 10. They're 13. This is a team that absolutely is not Tampa Bay, except for Tom Brady. They're an under team. They're not scoring. Now, I looked at the receivers, and, of course, Julio Jones is questionable with the knee. Everybody else is not even – it looks fine as far as they'll be playing. Carolina is a W team, a weak defense, a weak offense. Their quarterback, I don't know who's quarterbacking. I think P.J. Walker from Temple, but he's injured. Let's go to covers right now. Let's solve this problem. So I don't really know who their starting quarterback is, and that's probably why it's 13. So let's see. I hate when you get the chart, but it doesn't really update, even though all the page comes to you, but it's the old page. Excuse me. All right, let's see. So let's go to Carolina. We can go through the injuries later. Carolina. All right. So the big list. Questionable tackle, questionable linebacker, questionable safety, questionable defensive end, questionable DC. All this bullshit. I feel all these players will play. Sam Darnold is out with an ankle, so he's not the quarterback. Mayfield is out with an ankle late November. P.J. Walker's questionable with the neck, and Coral is out. So I don't know. So Walker's the only one, and he's questionable. Now, certainly they need another one, because if he gets hurt in the game, who's their quarterback? And maybe that's where you got the problems you have. I don't know. But so let's look at Dallas. Again, this doesn't update enough. So Dallas. Oh no, we want to look at New England. CD Lamb, Preston. Okay, yeah. Let's go to New England. Oh no, we want to go to Tampa. Let's see what's going on here. So Tampa, yeah, Julio Jones questionable with the knee, and all the other receivers are off. So that's what's happening there. So we don't know who the quarterback is. Probably P.J. Walker, but if he's got a neck injury, so maybe it's 13 because they don't have a quarterback. How could you not find a backup when you've lost Darnell's out, and Coral from Ole Miss is a rookie, but he's out. So those two are out, and you're dealing with Baker, and you have P.J. Walker's the backup. Baker gets hit, so you got Walker. Who's his backup? So I don't know. I'm sure they have to have one. So the question is, Carolina now with their backup quarterback, Tom Brady, who looks like shit. Their offensive line looks like shit. Losing last week to freaking Pittsburgh. Are you kidding me? So what do you do with Tampa on the road? They're not a strong road favorite. Carolina's a strong road dog, not a strong home dog. Tampa's an under team. So if we look at who's got the better defense, it's Tampa. Carolina's got a weak defense. Both teams have kind of weak offenses. So you really have how the hell is Tampa laying 13? Now, they lost Green Bay and Kansas City. Then they beat Atlanta in a must-win game by 6. Then they go and lose to Pittsburgh after they had lost 2 out of 3 and they needed to win, and they lose to Pittsburgh. So really, really questionable. I don't know how to lay 7 with Tampa with this team. And I tell you, I don't know until I find out the quarterback for Carolina, I can't take them plus 19. Although that's probably the bet. Over under a 39.5. Do we go under in this game? Now, the one key is all the Tampa receivers are playing, but Julio Jones. So it's a very important. So you can tell how a team reacts. It's like Kansas City, Buffalo. All their players were probable last week. All of a sudden, they're all healthy for the Buffalo game. And the same thing here with Tampa. Everybody's healthy now. They're not hurt because this is like must win. I don't know that Tampa can. I don't think they have the offensive line. Carolina still has a decent defense, I think. Very, very difficult to really put together. So I don't know. I don't know how to bet this game. I can't bet. I can't lay 7 with Tampa the way they look. They couldn't score a touchdown against freaking Pittsburgh. All of a sudden, Pittsburgh's got the steel curtain back. Carolina, I'm not touching. They're terrible. So this is a game I'm just going to watch. You can maybe go over under. Probably take it under 39.5 to 45.5. Maybe you get 20-some points by Tampa and Carolina. How are they going to score without a quarterback? So I think this is maybe an under, but we got to find out who their quarterback is. So we'll come back with that news on Sunday morning. Tennessee 2.5, 43.5 to Indy. Indy's an under team. They don't score a lot except for last week, and this is where I need to dissect more. And then Tennessee's a W with a weak offense and a weak defense. The trend here is Indy is 14-2 as the road dog. Excuse me. So now we have it. We can use the trend system. Indy's 14-2 as the road dog. Now let's go into Indy, Tennessee, because they play in the same division, the matchup. So let's go in there. And you get that on scoresandodds.com. You can go into matchups, and I'll show you. So here's Indy, Tennessee. If you go into matchup, so if you hit matchup here, boom, it takes you into, and now you got the history. So this gives you the history of the series, and that's really what you're looking for, kind of. If there's too many changes, Matt Ryan didn't play. So what do? Does it still work or not? So let's just look the last 2 years. We've got Tennessee winning 24-17 at Indy, 34-31. Oh, that must have been this year. Yeah. Tennessee won 24-17 at Indy this year. Last year, Tennessee won at Indy 34-31. Tennessee won at Tennessee 25-16. And in 2020, Tennessee won at Indy 45-26. And then Indy won 34. So the last 5, 1, 2, 3, the last 4, Tennessee has won, including 3 at Indy. The game at Tennessee, they won 25-16. So that tells you Tennessee wins this series. Indy is 14-2 as a road dog. So that trend works that way. Head-to-head, it's take Tennessee. They're laying 2.5. They got a weak defense and an under, but the weak defense is prolonged by the Buffalo game where they gave up 42. If we look at last week's games, Tennessee, they didn't even play last. I hate these buys. They kill you. So Tennessee beats Washington 21-17. They don't win by a lot. Indy now goes and beats Jacksonville 34-27 in the last minute. They were down. They got the touchdown. But where's the 34 points coming from? And then they give up 27. So you're telling me they're an under team by the stats, but then they play Jacksonville, who's a terrible offense, and it's 34-27. So 200 teams play a 61. What the hell is going on? So that's really what you have here. So we don't know who Indy is. They're an under team like Dallas always plays a low-scoring game. But a lot of that comes from the quarterback not throwing interceptions. The turnovers, it's the block punts, things like that. So in this, Tennessee, Indy, heads up, it's Tennessee. They beat Indy very well, but they beat them close. Indy's very strong as a road dog as far as maybe Ryan is getting it going. I think this will be a close game. I think you can take Indy as the dog because they're such a strong road dog, 14-2. Even though Tennessee wins, they're winning close. They'll win by 7 or something. So they're close games. Maybe Indy has a hard time stopping Derrick Henry. I don't know. I can't even tell you. It's still Tannehill and Indy with Matt Ryan. So maybe now I was listening to an interview with Kurt Warner talk about Denver, talk about Russell Wilson on Monday night. And he said, it's not like you're going to a new team and a new system. You got to get used to the new players, and they got to run the routes the same way your guys in Seattle ran the routes. So keep in mind, Matt Ryan, it's going to take him time. Now it's been 6 games. Now maybe he's getting his timing down with his receivers. That's the part that people don't understand. Oh, they got Russell Wilson now. Well, okay, fine. But until he gets used to his new receivers, he's not Russell Wilson. Well, he's still Russell Wilson, but the timing's off. The coach doesn't know what to do, so he's got to learn. What are you calling the play? What's the post pattern called here, and how do you run it? Is different than they did in Seattle. So I think that's the same thing with Matt Ryan, that maybe he's getting that down as we see in the Jacksonville game. Not an eye test, but just, okay, he's starting to come. I can see he's starting to come. Tennessee play these games close. It's a division game. So here I'm going to say take the dog, 8.5. They're a 14-2 as a road dog, which includes last week when they were a road dog. They were a home favorite to Jacksonville. So I don't know. This is not a high game. This is just picking this game. But I think it's Indy. I don't know that you can really take anybody. Like I say, I think it's very hard to say this team's going to win. I just don't see that where you have a clear cut, this is the best team in the league. Because if you have it, I don't know who it is. Possibly Buffalo, possibly Cincinnati. KC can play strong. Philadelphia, maybe. I don't know. All right, so let's take Indy as the dog here. Giants, Jacksonville. Giants are an under team, although they scored a little. I don't know what Daniel Jones does. Apparently he just runs and hands off. They seem to be a good defensive team. How they beat Baltimore, they got a pick late in the game. Why are you showing the ball? Harbaugh really has to go. He's lost his mind, I think. Jacksonville is an even team, which means they score in the mid-20s. They give up in the mid-20s. I got their defense as an under, but their offense is an even. And then I look at last week, and it was 34-27. So I don't know what the hell, Lawrence throws too many picks, and he runs too much. He's not a good quarterback. He's going to throw you some picks. I think the Giants should be favored in the game by my line's Giants -3. The Giants are what do I got here? The Giants are 20-5 as a road dog, And bet against Jacksonville as a home favorite is 19-4. And bet against Jacksonville overall is 43-12. So Jacksonville is a lousy home favorite. The Giants are a strong road dog. I think the Giants are the better team here. Yeah, they beat Green Bay in London, but then last week they beat Baltimore. I mean, so they're fine. They're 5-1. They won at Tennessee. This should be no problem for them here. I think the Giants in 9. I really like that game. Over under 42.5. I don't know. Both teams have pretty good defenses. Maybe, the Giants last week. 24-20 to Baltimore, 44. Yeah, so I think this is an under game. I think the Giants have strong defense. Jacksonville, Lawrence, you can't count on them. I don't even want to go to the coaching. I don't even know who the coaches are in this game. Jacksonville's got the Philly coach. Well, if he was so good, why did Philly fire him? And I don't even know who the Giants coach is right now. So basically, I think this is a dog game. I think the Giants are the better team. They're getting 9 points. There's no way in hell Jacksonville's going to blow them out. I think the Giants could easily win. You just beat Green Bay and Baltimore, so I think they're very live here. Oakland, 7 over Houston, over under 45. Houston's an under team. They don't score. They don't have much defense. However, they didn't play last week. The week prior. Houston. They beat Jacksonville 13-6 in that wonderful game. So I don't know what you take out of that. It was 6-6 late in the fourth, and they got a turnover from Lawrence. Lawrence threw an interception in the end zone. So is Houston all of a sudden good? I don't think so. I think this is a pretty easy one. Carr and Adams played at Fresno State together. They are very comfortable together. I don't like Oakland at home. They're not a good home team, but they are an over team, which means they're also an over defense. So there should be points in the game. So I like this game over 45, and I like Oakland -1. The trend is Houston because Oakland's not a strong favorite at home. They need to go back to Oakland where they belong, not in Las Vegas. That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. You're just opening yourself up to fixing games by having a team in Las Vegas. Are you serious? So people ask me, are the games fixed? Well, you got a team in LA, in Las Vegas, and you have BetMGM and DraftKings associated with the league. You tell me if you think it's fixed. However, that doesn't mean we can't bet it. It just means it's fixed. Not every game, and we got to figure out where the fix was. But, yeah, so Oakland -1. All over. Houston, I don't know. They played 13-6. They're not going to play. This game will not be 13-6. I guarantee you that. You're not holding Oakland to 6. So I like Oakland -1. I think that's a good play. Wow, 6-6 going into the fourth. Those poor fans. Well, if you live in Jacksonville and you even go to the game, you got to be out of your mind. Go to the beach. Go to Disney World. Why would you go to see that team? So yeah, I mean, I think Oakland won. I don't like Mills. You can't tell me their defense is that good. I'm tired of hearing this bye crap. The fact the team doesn't play the week 4 hurts them. It does heal the injuries to a point, but who cares? They're all getting shot up anyway. Where does not playing help you? I mean, it doesn't help you at all. Let's take bowling, for example, or golf, or tennis. Do you think these guys play in a tournament and they don't practice? Mark Roth, Earl Anthony, Nicholas, all these guys, they practice before. Look at Nicholas. Well, he gets to the U.S. Open on the Monday before to practice to get 3 rounds in. Why? Well, get the bye. Why you shouldn't practice at all. That's my point. Or bowling or any of this major sports. workhorse baseball. You go. Why do you go have batting practice before the game? I mean, why? You're a good hitter. That's my point. It's the same thing here. Why is a bye good? A bye is terrible because you're not playing in the game and you can't assimilate the game speed in practice. You can only do it in the game. So therefore, I don't find that Houston gets any advantage by having a bye. It's got to hurt them. They've got a weak enough offense anyway. So they're going to be out of sync. I do like Oakland minus the one here. I think they win it. I don't know if they blow out anybody, but I don't think anybody blows out anybody. But I think they win it. All you got to do is lay the one. As far as over under, it's probably an over, but I don't trust David Mills to score enough. So I'm going to just go with Oakland. The Jets at Denver. Now Denver's went from -3 to -0.5. Russell Wilson, he's probable. Let's go down with Russell Wilson. He was questionable. Maybe he's not playing. I don't know. And then the one thing with this covers.com, right? So covers.com gives you all the injuries, but the one thing with this, I don't know how updated it is. So let's go to Denver. I don't think it's updated for today. I'm not sure it's updated for yesterday. But at least it gives you an idea. And really, you don't really know till game time. They take the needle and they play anyway. So let's go to who are we going to? Denver. All right, Denver. Melvin Gordon, probable. A lot of questionables, which I assume are playing. Russell Wilson, probable with a hamstring. How does a quarterback hurt his hamstring? Probably sliding. So but he's probable. So Russell Wilson's playing, but he does have a hamstring. Maybe that's knocking out. It almost seems like he's not playing. The spread went from 2.5 to 0.5 and from 43 to 38.5. The unders dropped a lot. So let's assume Russell Wilson isn't playing. I like the Jets in this game if he was playing. So I think the Jets are playing well. They won at Green Bay. They killed Miami. They looked much better. And I'm basing it on they have a balanced offense. They have running, they have passing. Watching the Green Bay highlights, yeah, they got 2 blocked punts, but that's good. They're blocking punts. Their defense looked very good. Rodgers needed to score, and he couldn't score. So I'm looking at this as that the Jets are a much stronger team. They're not there yet, but I think with Zach Wilson, he's playing like he did at BYU. He's looking good. Their running looks good. Their defense looks good. I took the Jets already an 8.5. I've already put it in. Again, being the professor, I don't wait till Sunday to make the bet unless I'm waiting on an injury like I am in the Baylor-Kansas game. We'll check that line right after this. So I got the Jets an 8.5. Now I would say I like the under. Russell Wilson, I don't get it. He's listed as probable with the hamstring, and the line goes down. Is he probable or is he out? And it's a hamstring, and he likes to run. More importantly, how do you throw with a hamstring? Bobby, you ever try throwing with a hamstring? I can't throw with the hamstring. You got to push off and throw it. So I don't know where he's gonna. Can you have a minor hamstring and a major hamstring where it's kind of tight but not pulled? This I don't know. Not a doctor, but something smells here that the line's down to 0.5 and 38.5. So I'm taking the Jets. If he's out, I would take it under. But the Jets, I think, win this game. I think they're just the better team, actually. All right, Kansas City, game of the day. Kansas City -3. My number -2, over under of 48.5. I hate when I do that to myself. I write over my number and I can't see it. I think it's what's the freaking over under on the game? Oh, come on. let's see. So we've got, 48.5. Yeah, so I got it right. I just thought it was a little high. That's why I double checked. So you got 48.5. So KC -2, 48.5 against the Niners and that defense with Garoppolo. There's no trend on the game. There also is a trend on the Jets as the dog. Denver, not a strong home favorite. The Jets apparently are a good road dog, but at least the trend is that in the teaser, the trend's the Jets. There's no trend here. KC, not a great road favorite. Frisco is not a home dog too often, maybe against the Rams, but that's about it. So KC -2. I don't know. The Niners, a lot of guys are playing. I know somebody here said, oh, yeah, they got a lot of injuries. That's why they don't look good. But I looked at the injuries, and they're all playing injured, right? One guy is taping his hand up. It's a broken hand. He's playing with the broken hand all taped up. I've seen that in Super Bowls, Michigan-Ohio State games where the guy plays with one hand, and it's all in the cast. And he don't care. He's playing. So I think you have a lot of that for Frisco. I think they're embarrassed after losing to Atlanta 28-14. They beat Carolina. They've been playing pretty strong at home, pretty under at home. Again, Mahomes, I don't know. I mean, how the hell did they only score 20 on Buffalo? Again, they got a weak defense, and of course they got Mahomes against a very, very strong defense in the Niners. I just have a question mark. I don't want to fuck with the Niners defense. In these games, I always play the defense. Garoppolo's healthy. They've got Dabo Sweeney. I look for him to be scoring. Over under 48.5. Now, we just saw them miss three opportunities inside the 10 in the Buffalo KC game to keep that under. 48.5. So if the game's going to be fixed, let's see where this moves to. If it moves to 49, then play it under. If it moves to 48, play it over, because the fix is to stop the casino to lose, because they're not smart enough to balance their books themselves. So if they would just balance their books and get $1 million on each side, they'd win $100,000. That's all they'd have to do, and they'd guarantee a win. That's what a bookie should do, is balance his books. I got $1 million on KC -2. I got $1 million on the Niners +2. I win $100,000, no risk. And I don't need to fix the game. So this is very new. Obviously, maybe because of this. Well, I don't even know how this online stuff. Like, if you're William Hill, is there an online that affects your line? But BetMGM probably does. How do you lay off your money? You don't even know how much money's bet. I don't know what to do here. I don't know. My question is the dog. I don't like betting against Mahomes. I don't like betting against the defense like the Niners. Garoppolo is terrible, so I don't mind betting against him. Will you get more running with whatchamacallit, Dabo Samuel, because they want to keep the ball away from KC. I think the Niners play pretty good at home in this game. I think also revenge of the Super Bowl. So if they can avenge it, I don't know. I really honestly don't have an opinion on this. I guess KC in 4, I kind of like. You get over a field goal. I don't think they'll get blown out or shut out by the Niners, especially what Atlanta did. Now, keep in mind, Atlanta scored on a fumble return. So really it was 21-14. The question is, how the hell does the Niners not score more than 14 on Atlanta? Are you kidding me? And then that goes back to how many times on 4th down did they go for it and not make it? So it's like now you've got to put in the 4th down variable. And then where it would be an easy +8, now you got to worry about, well, they're going to go for 2. And, so it's just adding variables that we don't want here. So I don't know. I really don't know. Is Frisco strong enough? Are they healthy enough defensively to take them? And then what do you do over under? I can't go over on the Niners. They're an under team. I just want to lock on them under a couple weeks ago. I don't really see playing this game over. Maybe you go under 54. This seems awfully high, I think. I think this is an under game. Because the Niners won't score a lot, but you're not going to light them up. I mean, their defense is very strong. So, okay, they don't score a lot with Garoppolo. Kansas City just showed you we only got 20 on Buffalo. So, are they going to light up? I'm okay. 21-17. I'm coming up with. That's what I'm seeing. 21-17. Therefore, it's a dog and it's an under. So I think take it under. I really don't. The Niners don't score enough to go over, over 42. That they hit 42 with Atlanta, who is just as explosive as Kansas City this year. So I think play it under 54. I think is probably the best way to play because you're not going to get a lot of points in the Niners, but their defense is going to keep KC under wraps. They'll probably play too high zone and make KC drive the field and kick field goals. And the Niners defense is that strong. All right, we'll look for Bosa. So let's look and see. It's Joey Bosa playing. That'll be the key to this. And I bet he is. Let's bet Bosa's playing. This is a game that everybody plays, right? Frisco. See, if you notice Tampa, the receivers aren't quite, they have to win. All the receivers are all of a sudden healthy. Excuse me. San Fran. Okay, San Fran. Tight end, probable. Linebacker. And I'm saying that I don't know the name. I never heard of these guys. Lineman, questionable. Cornerback, questionable. Tackle, questionable. Nick Bosa, questionable Sunday with a groin. Then you got some guys out. Again, I've never heard of McKivitz, so why talk about him? Offensive lineman, early December. Trey Lance, we're happy he's hurt. Mitchell, Davis, a guy named Davis on the defensive line's out with the knee. Do we care? No. Do we know who he is? No. So Bosa's questionable with the groin. He'll play. How long he'll play, we don't know. So I don't know. I guess over or under. I think KC wins close. I don't think they blow them out. I don't think they're capable. I don't think you can blow out the Niners. I think, again, you go with the defense, although, yes, we see a lot of defensive injuries, but a lot of them are questionable. Questionables usually play. It's the outs that don't and maybe a few of the doubtfuls. But then it'll change. So on Sunday morning, when we do our show to update the injuries, it'll show Bosa out or playing. So we'll know Sunday. So this game, keep on wraps, but I think it's an under. San Diego 5 over Seattle 50. I have San Diego as a 3-point favorite. They were 7. They're down to 5. Over-unders both teams are over teams. I like the game over, but here's the telling stat. Seattle is 14-3 as a road dog, and that's just the last few years. I know it's much stronger if I go back further. Now, again, Russell Wilson's not there, but it's still 14-3. Play against San Diego, and now that hasn't changed. As a home dog, 20-2. Overall, it's now 47-8. So look what we did last week. Play against San Diego Monday night, took Denver. San Diego wins 19-16. Play against them, you win. And that's against Denver. Here you got them against Seattle, who's looking very good. They just beat Arizona. They're starting to score. They're starting to look good. I like the points and Seattle. Does San Diego even win? Who knows? You really don't know. They're not that strong of a team. So I don't know what you do with them, but I like Seattle in the 11. I liked it at 13. I bet it at 13. Now it's 11. Still bet it there. Over under a 50. Both teams are over. I would think it goes over 44. Not a problem. I think this will be like a 30-24 game, something that lines, which Seattle could win. However, after last week's 19-9 win over Arizona, which made no sense, I don't even know what to do anymore with these over-unders. That's the problem. And then look at Arizona last night, puts up 42. Now, 14 were on pick sixes, so let's go 28. So they scored 28 offensively. And he had his receiver back, DeAndre Hopkins, who I don't think played the whole game. He can't just come back and play. He's got to get in shape. But still, so they put up 28 here, which I knew would be a high-scoring game because New Orleans doesn't have a defense. So that game played according to what it should. Arizona, New Orleans, both teams are pretty much over, although Arizona's offense really sucks for some reason. We're here. That's my point with the running quarterback. Arizona with Murray, you think, oh, they're going to put up 30 points a game, and they don't. They really they put up 28, but they're an under offensive team for some reason. It really makes no sense. So I'm going to stay away from the over under here, but I do love Seattle as the dog. So I think that's a good Williams. Good morning. I'm fine, Williams. Thank you very much. Nice to see you. So Seattle in the 15, we like, or in the 15. With the 11, I had them with 13. With the 11, I think it's the way to go in the game. San Diego doesn't blow you out. I don't know if it's bad coaching or let's go for it on 4th and 5 at our own 10. I don't know what it is. Seattle, you got Coach Pete, and you got to bet on Coach Pete. Coach Pete delivers, and they're not bad. Geno Smith's getting comfortable. They still have Lockett and Metcalf, so they got great receivers. So, they're going to score. Pitt, Miami lane 7 and 45.5. Pitt is a W team. Weak offense, weak defense. Miami is an even team, but it's confusing because they have a weak defense and a weak offense. However, Tagliabue is back this week, so he's back minus the 7. Yes, Seattle. Okay. So see, Pitt's terrible. I mean, I don't know what to say. Let's go into the injuries here. Pitt. Let's see. Who do we know as of this? Kenny Pickett's probable with concussion, and that's it. So I assume Pickett's playing. So you can tell here's Pitt, right? And all these players that are on the list are probable. So it tells you that they're serious because they could easily just say, I'm not playing, we're a bad team. But no, they're all probable. That's coaching. So Miami's lane 7 with Tagliabue playing, which I don't love him anyway. Well, I didn't think Pitt was a good team last week, and they beat Tampa, so I can't agree with that. How does Pitt beat Tampa? So Pitt's defense plays. They will give Tagliabue. They'll blitz him a lot and everything. Minus 7. You got 2 weak defenses and 2 weak offenses, 2 over defenses. Do we go over in this game? Can Pitt score with Pickett? No, they can't. Tagliabue, now he was getting in shape with his receivers before he got hurt. I'm surprised he's back so soon. That was a vicious whiplash, not a concussion. So laying the 7, do I lay 1? I don't trust Miami to lay 1. So now we got to look at, do we want Pitt in 13? How do we trust Pickett? And again, Trubisky won the game for him, but it was Tampa being so bad. I mean, they didn't really – Pitt really didn't – they got a kickoff return to start third quarter. of 90 yards and still kicked a field goal from the 10. I don't know, Pitt. There's a trend on Miami as a home favorite, and Pitt's not a strong road dog. The heat's going to bother them. They got the win over Tampa. What does that mean? Does that mean they relax, or does that mean, hey, we're not bad? Good coach, relatively good defense, but TJ Watt's out. So I don't know what to do with Pitt. So if they do start Pickett, you're not going to get a lot from him. Miami's defense isn't that good either. So this is one of those games. Again, this is like this is kind of reminding me of the Dallas game where you're laying 7 to Detroit and you think, wow, it's an easy -1. It's not that easy. Here, I don't know. Could Pitt win? Absolutely. How they beat Tampa, it's a mystery, but they could easily do the same to Miami. You blitz him, he folds. So I don't know what to do with this game either. I'd be very leery of Miami -1 here. So, yeah, it sounds good, but Pitt beat Tampa wasn't an accident. You just beat Brady. Chicago, New England. New England minus, was this 8.5? 39.5, the Bears. Why aren't you starting Zappe? Oh my God. You can tell it's Patricia, the offensive coordinator. So you got a hot quarterback in Zappe who's much better than Max Jones. And you want to go back to now. I don't know if he's starting or if it's just he's probable to play. Like yesterday, Andy Dalton still started, even though whatchamacallit got off the list. So I'm not sure. But in this case, New England 8.5 should win because the Bears have no offense. Their defense is pretty good. New England, we know, has got a killer defense. If it's Mac Jones, I would play the game under 45.5. If it's Zappe, I would play New England -2.5. So I'm hoping Zappe plays, or maybe if Jones sucks in the first quarter like he did, then they bring in Zappe in the second half. I don't know. I don't know how they can be this stupid, but we will see. Again, I don't know if he's starting or he's just probable, but he's not like Winston was probable but didn't start. So I'm hoping that they keep going with Zappe and he's just that. So we've got to see that. So what are we doing here, Williams? Dallas -1. I don't really need your picks. If you want to give me scores, you can do that, but I don't need to see Dallas -1, Raiders -1, Pats winner. You see, what you're doing is you're influencing the class, and I don't want anybody influencing the class. Because then they go, oh, I'm going to take the Raiders -1 because Williams said it. And is that a good bet? I don't know. So you're putting things in, but you don't have the backup to put them in. Miami -1. You can't just say that. I tell people here, don't listen to the radio or ESPN for picks because it influences them and they don't know what they're doing. And so they lose money by listening to people they shouldn't be listening to. No, I'm going to need you to stop doing that. I don't need your opinion. This is not an opinion class. This is a class and I'm the teacher. So if I'm saying something, I don't want your opinion on the S&P 500 or here. That's not what I want because I don't want you to influence class. I'm teaching class. So I don't need the picks. Just keep them to yourself. If you want to do a YouTube channel and do what I do and give picks and give explanations and you can be successful, then more power to you. That's not the point of this. This is a class and I'm teaching. So you've got to realize that. Okay, so New England, I don't like Jones. He's not good. He turns it over too much. Zappe's very good, and we can see he's very good. He did good against Green Bay. And he did very good against, obviously, with the Lions. Everybody does. And then, what was it, last week? He blows out Cleveland. So why would you not start him? I don't know what to do here. The Bears are weak. I don't think normally Belichick handles these quarterbacks by blitzing them. He's the only one that actually understands these running quarterbacks and these rookie quarterbacks. You blitz them, you don't give them the time to think or do anything. So, yeah, I'll agree on the New England, but I wouldn't. If it gets to 9, I would not lay 3 with Jones. And I think it's an under game because I don't think the Bears. I mean, they shut out the Lions. Of course, the Lions keep going for 4th down and keep missing, and then they don't kick field goals and stuff like that. Are the Patriots actually going to go back to Jones? Yeah, I agree with you, Bobby. They should keep Zappy, and that I'm not sure they're. All I see is Jones is probable, but I don't know that means he's starting. I got to get more information on that. So if he's not starting, yes, I love New England with Zappy, but that's where the quarterback difference. So when we look at the Pitt-Miami game, now you got Tagliabue, which makes Miami a little bit stronger, although I don't know. I think Bridgewater's better. And then now you've got Trubisky or you got Pickett. Well, Pickett's probable. So if Pickett starts, then Pitt has less of a chance to win with Pickett than they do with Trubisky, and they both stink. So I don't know. If Bridgewater was playing, I would like Miami. Tagliabue just can't read a D. No, if Pitt shut down Tampa and blitzed them, what do you think they're going to do here? And Tagliabue can't read it. So that's why it's not just a sure thing. This is the NFL. Pitt is not Louisiana Monroe. Who's playing, Williams? Zappy's playing or Jones? I mean, you're not. If Zappy's playing, then yes, that's a New England. Oh, if Jones is playing, forget it then. Play the game under because Jones won't score. Chicago won't score. Terrible. I'm surprised Belichick would make that, considering he stuck with Brady over Bledsoe and won 18 Super Bowls because he's stuck with Brady. It just doesn't make sense. Zappy knows what he's doing, looks a lot better. So take the game under then if it's Jones starting, not Zappy. Now, will Zappy go in the second half when the score is 3-0 because Jones can't get a first down? This is unknown, but at this point, I would take the game under and not New England. Now Belichick, because Belichick will basically just blitz Fields, right? And he can't throw anyway, and they're terrible. The Bears are terrible offensively. They're pretty good defensively. Jones neutralizes the advantage because the Bears will shut down Jones. Zappy knows how to get to the open receivers and score. Jones can't. That's the problem with Jones. That's why the Patriots lost with Jones. He's not a good quarterback. People can't understand that. This isn't Alabama playing Vanderbilt, right? Okay, this is the pros. It'll be 6-3. That's with Jones. That's the problem, right? So you can't trust them to win with Jones because he can't score. T. Anthony Thomas. I'm hoping the New York teams win and keep rolling. Yeah, I like him. I don't know what to call you, Mr. Thomas or T. Anthony or whatever. Yeah, I really like the Giants. They should be favored over Jacksonville. And then the Jets. I don't know if Russell Wilson's not playing. The line's down. The over-under's down. So he's got a pulled hamstring. So I'm not sure in that. So that's what I look at. So if William Hill, okay, so Scores and Odds has New England minus 8.5 and 39.5. So what does that tell you if the Pats are only minus 7? They don't like Jones either. People are betting against Jones is not the play here. This is the NFL. All the teams suck. Like if you're telling me New England's better than the Bears, I'm going to say no. With Zappy, yes. With Jones, they're not. We just saw Tampa lose. We saw Tampa lose to Pittsburgh, who we thought was the worst team, and then we saw the Jets beat Green Bay. So you can't tell me that New England's better than Chicago. I don't buy it. Chicago's bad. So's New England. So's Tampa Bay. So's Green Bay. So's the whole freaking league. They all suck. There's no real good team. Maybe Cincinnati because you got Burrow. Maybe Kansas City, but I don't know that they're going to beat. Dang, Seattle could be the best team with Jones now that he's playing well, or Dallas if they would keep Russ was good. Philly, okay, maybe they're good. Atlanta looks like a real good team. So I'm not buying that New England's this good team. With Zappy, yes. Without them, they're terrible. I don't get some of these coaches' decisions, especially Belichick should know better. Well, so I said he played Brady over Bledsoe, and Brady kept winning. And then at the end, Bledsoe was healthy, and he didn't go back to him. Why would you go back to Jones? What has Jones shown you except for getting blown out in the playoff games and in the must-win games that he sucks? See, this is where if you coach because of the contract, which I don't think Jones gets anything. Well, that's Tom Brady's 6 Super Bowls, not Bill Belichick. Anybody that says Belichick's a better coach than Lombardi, Bill Wallace, Bill Parcells, or Jimmy Johnson's out of their freaking minds. So why do you think it's all Brady? As soon as Brady's gone, Belichick doesn't even make the playoffs. So I don't want to hear Belichick's this great coach. And this is incredibly stupid that he's not going back to Zappy. Now, is this a Patricia decision? That would make sense. He's a freaking moron with his 2 wins in Detroit, and New England laid down so he'd get one of them. What was that? New England comes to Detroit, and then Detroit beats New England with Patricia? Like, oh, really? And then he couldn't beat anybody? Oh, did they? Yeah, how did they do? New England sucks. No. Brady won the Super Bowl at Tampa. That's enough said. Did Belichick win the Super Bowl last year? No. Well, there you go. That's my point. I don't like Belichick because I don't like he gets credit for the Giants defense when it was all Lawrence Taylor and Parcells. So I don't like that part of it. And then I don't like what he did to the Jets where he signs and then runs away and quits. That was a baby act, and I don't have any respect for a guy that does that. Well, why not? He's the GM. He should have Plo. Why doesn't he have? Why didn't he replace Brady? And then he gets a quarterback that might replace Brady and Zappy, and then he wants to use Jones. So Jones is not replacement for Brady. So anyway, so let's go through the picks again. So we've got the under in the Green Bay Washington game, as we can't trust anybody, and Wentz is out. Heineke might light it up. He's much better than Wentz. Atlanta, Cincy, I like the game over 41.5. Cleveland, Baltimore, I like the game over 40 as both teams score a lot. Detroit, Dallas, I really don't know what to do. I was hoping they'd stick with Cooper Rush. Prescott, too many turnovers. They don't score. Maybe it's an under game. Let the defense win. They look terrible against Philly. So I don't know here. This is not with Rush. Yes, this is Dallas. Again, the quarterback's the key to the whole game. If you got the right quarterback, you're fine. If you want to switch to guys you perceive as better that aren't better because they can't read defenses, and you're the coach and you can't understand that, you shouldn't be the coach. So, again, I disagree with Prescott starting. Cooper Rush is the better quarterback for the team. He doesn't turn it over, although, yes, he did 3 turnovers against Philly, and that's why they lost. But let the defense win the games for you. What do you think the Giants did with Phil Simms? Phil Simms sucked, but they just stay out of the way, don't turn it over, and let Lawrence Taylor win the games. And that's why the Giants won. And that's what you need here is let Micah Parsons win the game for you. Tampa, Carolina, I wouldn't lay 13 with Tampa for all the tea in China. Probably under 39.5. Indy, Tennessee, I like the dog in Indy getting 8.5, and they're a very good road dog. The Jacksonville, the Giants at Jacksonville laying 3. I like the Giants at 9. They should be favored in the game. They're the much better team. Lawrence sucks. Jones sucks too, but he runs. He doesn't turn it over, and their defense is a lot better on the Giants because the Jacksonville defense, which I thought was good, gave up 34 points to Indy last week. So I don't know who the Jacksonville is versus the Giants. They beat Baltimore. They beat Green Bay. I'm on board. Oakland 7 over Houston. I think I like Oakland minus the 1, but very small. Very careful here. Oakland. I just think Houston's, I don't like Mills, so Carr's the better quarterback. So I think you lay 1 there, but be careful. The Jets in Denver, that game's down to a half. I think Russell Wilson's not going to play based on the line movement, even though he's listed as probable with a hamstring. So I like the Jets here. I already bet them at 8.5. Also under, if Russell Wilson's out, take the game under. The Jets seem to have a good defense. Denver, we know, has a good defense. Denver, they keep playing these 19-16 games. They played these very low-scoring games. So, again, this is a very good under. And you can see the under went from 43 to 38, which is crazy. KC and the Niners, KC 2, 48.5. I think you go under in the game. I think the Niners, very strong defense, no quarterback. KC, what happened to him against Buffalo, gets 20 points. So against a good defense, I think the Niners can hold on. A little revenge for the Super Bowl they lost. I think the Niners come to play pretty strong. Their defense gets a lot of sacks on Mahomes, I think. So I think this is an underplay. I can't trust Garoppolo plus 8. So I got to play the game under. San Diego 5 over Seattle, over under 50. I like Seattle on 11 here. Seattle, probably the better team. Coach Pete, 1,000 times better coach. And they're getting 11 to a team, San Diego, that is 47-8 against in a teaser, 20-2 against as a home favorite. Not that they don't win the games, they don't win by a lot, and they never win by a lot. They don't blow you out. So take Seattle in the 11. Miami Pitt. I think this is probably going to be an under game. Can't trust Tagovailoa. Pittsburgh's going to blitz them. They shut down Tampa and Brady. Obviously, he's going to blitz more. Miami, Tagovailoa throws too many interceptions. If you blitz him, he just falls down. He's not. He can't read a blitz. And Pittsburgh's going to blitz because they don't have an offense. So they got to play a low-scoring game like they do with Tampa. So I think this is an under 45.5, go under 51.5. They're not – Hill and Waddle aren't going to light up Pittsburgh, okay? That's not going to happen. And, give Pitt's coach credit for beating Tampa, right? You beat Tampa, you can beat Miami. So I'm not sold on Tagovailoa at all or Mac Jones. Any of these Alabama quarterbacks are only good against New Mexico State and Arkansas State. Not when they played the big boys in Georgia and Clemson, they didn't show up. And LSU. Let's give Joe Burrow credit. And New England, 8.5, 39.5. With Jones, I like the under. I don't like New England with Jones. I like New England with Zappe. So if Zappe is the starter, I go with Zappe. With Jones, I can't go with Jones. The Bears will blitz him, and he'll cave in. He'll a couple of picks. The Bears won't do anything. So this will be very low scoring. So go under with Jones. Over with Zappe, take the Zappe. So the obvious is, what the fuck are you going with Zappe for? That's the part that we can't understand. So be careful in that game. Be careful in these -7s. Everybody wants to take them to -1. I'm still aching over San Jose State -1 against Fresno State team without the quarterback who lost to Connecticut, and they lost. So I don't want to hear -7 down to -1's a good play. It isn't. It is if the right quarterback's in, but the injuries, you got to be careful. So the only -7 I like would be maybe Oakland, and I'd be very careful with that. Otherwise, I don't like Dallas with Prescott and Cincinnati. I got to take that game over, and I wouldn't trust Miami -1, and then that leaves New England. I don't trust them with Jones. So it's really the paradox of the quarterback. You got the right one in, leave him alone and win. Why make changes? It doesn't make sense. Okay, I'm not going to respond. Okay. All right. Obviously, I don't know what Williams is doing here, trying to get picks. Maybe he's a handicapper, but there's no room in this class for people like that. So anyway, that's where we have it. Let's see. So be careful with that. And again, I'm not a salesman. I'm an analyst, and I'm teaching, so I don't know what the people are. What was I going to look at? Okay, let's take a quick look and see if there's an update on the Baylor. Let's see the Baylor quarterback, because this is crucial, taking Kansas over or not. It still says Shapen is questionable with the head injury. Let's look at the line. I haven't looked at the college line. I'm focusing on the pros. Let's go to college. So what I'm looking at is to determine, do I bet Baylor, Kansas, or the over? The line's up to 10 and still 58.5. So we're getting action on Baylor, but for some reason the over-under isn't moving. It's still 58.5. Does that mean Shapen's playing? I don't know, but if he is, then we got to look at that. So yeah, Bonilla, I agree with you here that Jones is a game manager. That's why I don't like him. I can't trust him to win. I've seen enough of these seven. The Bears beat Houston. The Bears, what did they do last week? Were they off? No. Oh wait, that's the Bears last week. They lost 12-7 to Washington. So they played that's what I'm expecting here is an under with Jones. I'll tell you, Bobby, I don't know what it is with these people. Like, you're trying to teach a class, and they gotta like put their 2 cents in. I like, just shut up and listen. Okay, you can ask, not you, Bobby, but I mean, ask questions. But I don't want your picks. I don't want. That's not what this is about. And this is about class. I'm teaching. So let's go into the injuries. I just want to check if Kansas, I know their quarterback's out, but the second stringer's fine. So let's go into Kansas and see if somebody got, like, why isn't if the Baylor's quarterback's playing, why isn't the over going up? And if there's really no reason, then I really love the over at 52. Wide receiver Daniels, we know, is out till November. Hinshaw out. Okay, so no, I don't see anything. Wide receivers suspended and a safety, which would make it go over. I don't really see anything key in this game that would make it go over. Let's see. Okay, so the ironic thing is I do this for the live feedback. That's why I do it live and I don't tape it and then just upload the video because I want the interaction. But with yesterday's and this guy, these interactions is what the hell is their problem? Go do a video and you can talk about your picks and go do what you want. If you want to give them away, fine. Is there free picks on YouTube? I'm sure there are. Do they give you my type of analysis? I don't think so. So I don't really care because we're not all the same. You can listen to what you want. This was a free country. I don't know if it still is, but if you want to listen, listen. If you don't want to listen, don't listen. But don't come to me with the bullshit. I don't want to hear it, and I'm not gonna get upset. So I'm just gonna anybody that comes at me like that, I'm just gonna mute them. Anyway, so that's what we got in the pros. So tomorrow morning we'll go over any new lines or injuries. So right now, Baylor 1058 is really making, other than those guys, these live classes are, well, thank you, Bobby. That's the point of them is you can talk to me and it's a class. Where am I selling you anything? I'm not selling you anything. Yes, if you want to buy the picks and you want my locks, then but is this a high pressure selling like that movie we talk about with Al Pacino and the other Texas guy? No. Am I saying, let's bet 50,000 a game and da-da-da-da-da? No. I mean, that's your option if you want to buy the picks or not. I go over them to help you make a determination. And then, but these are I'm talking about every game, and then I take select games. I might not even play New England. I might not even play Oakland or Miami Pitt. I'm just saying how I look at the game as a professional, as this is what I do. I'm a professional bettor and handicapper, as well as in economics. But I don't make money. I'm not charging for the class. So, it just blows my mind when these idiots get on here and I don't know really what they're doing. I assume they're liberals and need a place to say things. It's really a shame because this is not political. We're looking at football, it's sports. We're also looking at gold. We're looking at the economy. We're looking at what's going on in the world in a nutshell and everything else. So, I'm not going to stop doing it. If this guy wants to go to this other channel, go to this other channel, be my guest. Oops, sorry. If you just want free picks, go. People aren't here for free picks. People are here to learn and to understand why you bet a team or why you don't bet a team. And I'm trying to explain it's like the quarterbacks and things like that. Anyway, so we've covered the pros. The free picks are UCLA over and TCU plus the 2.5. I still don't get that line being so low. That's where I'm at with it. So that's what I like. Pros again. I had New Orleans and 9.5 yesterday, which we got a field goal at the end to win it. So that worked out. It was an over game, and it did play over, which was interesting after last week. And we'll go from there. But yeah, no, I'm not a salesman here, and I never said I was. I'm a teacher and I'm an analyst, so I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm trying to teach you. That's why it's a classroom. Is this high pressure sales? Like, give me a break. All right, let's move on from this idiot and off we go. So I think that's it. Anything else that we want to talk about? Gold and silver is now the guy I showed you yesterday, Bobby, does a normal Friday show. I can show you that one. So this is the good one. This is what he does every Friday. This is the one you should watch. So this is his Friday one, and he's really talking about the derivative market, basically blowing up, and basically very, very soon the gold and silver is going to jump up. So again, I'm not selling you because you're not buying from me. This is, oh my God. Whatever. Yeah, watch this one. This is a good one. And go back. He has other ones. Like this is 96. So go watch 92 or 93 or whatever is interesting. He's very good at what he does. He used to run a director for a bank or something. And it got gold at 1600. Oh, gold's down to 1600. It's all bullshit, right? It's all them. It's really just an algorithm. As the dollar goes up, gold goes down. It's not, nobody's selling their gold. No, it's a steal right now. It's, if you can get it, but you can't get it at 1600. 1800 is what you need to buy it at. 1600 is the fake derivative paper gold price. So there's paper and physical. There's two different animals. Paper's down here because JP Morgan is playing games with it. Physical's up here because this is what everybody wants to protect themselves. That's the divergence. That's what he talks about. And this is eventually going to pop up because this is price fixed down, but it won't last. So yeah, if you can, good luck if you can find it at 1600, but you can't. The best you can do is, I think, 1800, and that's like a Cougaran or a Maple Leaf. I think the US one's like close to 19. So again, it's Fantasyland, Comex. Don't even really listen to it. It's paper derivative. People are selling 1 million ounces of gold that they don't own, driving the price down. They just really want you in US dollars. They don't want to admit it's collapsing. They don't want you to go to gold. That's really what's happening here. It's just a strange country that we're living in now with these strange people running it. And instead of letting gold go to market like everything else, they're pricing it down, and most people don't understand. So most people will go down on it. So that's what it is. Anyway, so buy as much as you can, but the silver's almost out. It's almost gone. So be careful with that. Buy as much as you can. The problem is soon you're not going to be able to buy it, and whatever you do see is going to be 20 times more expensive. Like I said, silver will be 1,000 an ounce. You want to wait till 1,000, or do you want to buy it at 35? And the same thing with gold at 1900. Do you want to buy it now or at 10,000 an ounce? And that's where it's going, because the world doesn't want dollars anymore. It's a very simple thing. Anyway, that's what's going on there. So keep in mind, happy Friday. That's good. I can go to lunch at a normal time, and that's about it. So again, how many locks do I got? I got 3 locks in pro, and I got, I think, 3. Well, I got 2 locks in college, maybe 3. Well, let's see if the quarterback plays. I might have a lock on the Kansas Baylor over. We'll see. Anyway, so that's what's going on. I see what you're saying. A lot of individuals will catch on late and pay a lot more when it goes up. Yeah, well, what I'm saying, Bobby, it's not if it goes up, it's when it goes up. So it's reached the point where 55 countries are off the US dollar. The only thing keeping the US dollar afloat is that they are forced to use it to exchange dollars. What the BRICS are doing is creating their own currency backed by gold and silver, and all these countries are going to it, and they're getting off the dollar. Well, so what happens? The dollar loses value because it's just paper and people won't want it. And if you don't want it, it has no value because it only has value because people needed it to take Swiss francs to Britain and buy pounds. You needed to buy dollars. Well, now that if that's off the table, then you don't need dollars anymore. You just take your Swiss francs and buy your euro or your dollar. There's no need for the dollar. It collapses. Then gold and silver goes up. So it's going to go up. It's just a matter of when it goes up, not if it goes up. So that's the key. We know it's going to happen. It's not a matter of maybe it won't. It won't because we're the U.S. It's like saying New England's going to beat Chicago even with Jones because they're New England, but Tom Brady's not there. Anyway, so it's the same thing, right? It's when the dollar collapses because nobody wants it. That's the key to it, right? And then people will go to the BRICS dollar or everybody goes to gold and silver. That's where it's heading. And that's what this guy's going to tell you on the show today. There's this 57 or whatever, 59 or 96, 97. That's what he's going to tell you. And it's all collapsing. You can't print more money because you don't have anything backing it. And as I've explained, the more you print, the less it's worth. So that's really the key to it is that. So that's what you're looking for. So that's why I say you got to buy it now. It's not will it go? It will crumble. And let's face it, the U.S. government wants it to crumble. That's what they're doing. That's why they're doing what they're doing. Watch it after this while looking at my 10-ounce bar. Yeah, there you go. You're enjoying that. Wait till you buy gold, Bobby. Once you own these little Maple Leafs, they're all nice and shiny. I put them in a little plastic container like my casino chips. So I showed this on another show, but yeah, I have these. See the holder, right? So you can put the gold in these holders, so that way you can touch it, and So that's what you do. And when you start seeing the gold in that, you really get excited. You'll be sleeping with that too. But that's what you have. So that's what you're looking at there. Just so you buy it now because you're not going to be able to buy it later. It's not, well, maybe it won't go up. It's when does it go up? And if I don't buy it now, I can't. But if you watch this guy, the guy I just gave you, he's going to tell you India, China, and Russia are buying it gold and silver like it's water. And it's just the derivative market's blown up. So basically, they can't manipulate it anymore. It's like the ref cheating in a game and he throws the pass interference. Okay, they've got that ref and they've taken him out. Now there's no cheating because they've fired the ref who was cheating. And that's what you got here in NASDAQ, in COMEX. They know it's cheating. They know they're holding it down, but they can't keep, and it's about to, like a volcano, it's about to erupt. And that's why I'm saying it's not will it erupt, it's going to erupt, and it's just a matter of time. That's why you buy it now, and then you go from there with it. So that's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, buy your gold and silver. Be careful in the stock market. I'm not selling anything. I am just teaching. So the sooner you realize this is a class, the better you will be. I really don't like to be attacked like this, but that's okay. I can handle it, but it is kind of, these people are very strange. So we won't be seeing these people anymore. They are they're deleted, so they can come on and listen. They just can't write. So we will see. But yeah, I just people, I guess, get jealous, or they don't like that you know more than they do, or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, I wonder if I can block this guy. Okay. There's a thing here, you can put user in timeout, hide user on this channel. Oh, I gotta hide him on the channel. Can I do that? Oh, he's already hit. Okay. All right. Anyway, any other questions? Football, economics, stock market, anything like that? Just buy your gold before you can't. Buy your silver before you can't. Be careful with the stock market. It's going to go way down. So just people keep wanting to look at what happened before and thinking it's going to repeat because history repeats. This is different than any other thing that's happened in history. So you got to keep that in mind. All righty. Well, I guess that's it. Any other questions or comments, please ask. Free picks again is UCLA over and TCU plus the 2.5, where we feel the line's just too low. I'm not quite sure why. They're a very good team. They just beat Oak State. They killed Oklahoma. Why would they not be more favored? So that's it. Again, we hit New Orleans in 9 on a late field goal yesterday. So that we're already 1-0 in the pros this week. I had them with the App State, Georgia State over. So off we go. All right, everybody. I will see you tomorrow morning. Now we have the noon kickoff, so I'll try to get on by 10. If I get on too early, the lines aren't updated, so it's kind of pointless if I'm trying to go over the lines. We should get a good thing on Kansas. Maybe we'll get a thing on it tonight, but I don't really know what that means. It went to 10, but it's still 58. So that tells me the Baylor quarterback's playing, but why is the over-under not going up against the Kansas team that scores 40 on everybody, and Baylor should score? So, again, I don't see an injury to Kansas. So some of these lines this week, Texas being favored over Oak State, TCU by 3.5, Baylor 10 over Kansas, but still it's 58. Just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. So I'll come on about 10 o'clock Detroit time, and we'll just quickly eyeball line changes and any new injuries that pop up or look kind of strange. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the class. www.teaserking.com. You want to bet a 5-teamer or 10-teamer with me, I get 20%. If you don't, that's fine. If you just want to ask a question, you'll get my email there, and you can certainly email me. And we can go from there. Again, www.teaserking.com. I got my results posted so you can see my history. And then if you want the picks, just buy them, and then we go from there. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you very much. I always check my email, but there's no way to really check. I can't check my YouTube. So email me on www.teaserking.com. You'll get my email. Okay. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you very much. I hope you learned.